Hey there! Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever noticed how some people only feel powerful when they can get a reaction out of you? They push your buttons, they say things just to hurt you, they twist your words, and they wait to see you explode, because your reaction gives them proof that they still have control over your emotions. They want to see you angry, broken, confused, or desperate. They want to feel like you need them, like you care, like their words matter. But here is the truth most people never understand. Nothing destroys a manipulator, a liar, or a toxic person faster than silence. Not screaming, not explaining, not defending yourself. Silence. The moment you stop responding is the moment they lose their power. When you stay silent, something happens inside them that you cannot see. They start thinking too much. They start doubting themselves. They wonder why their games no longer work. They wonder why their words no longer move you. Most people try to control others through reactions, not respect. If they can pull emotion out of you, they feel in control of you. But the day you choose silence is the day you break the cycle. The day you stop speaking is the day they start falling apart. Every person who ever disrespected you expected one thing, a reaction. They expected anger, tears, overthinking, weak words, or emotional panic. But when you give them silence, you flip the power dynamic. You go from being controlled to being untouchable. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That is the heart of silence. It is self-control. It is emotional discipline. It is the choice to say, "You will not get inside my head anymore." Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is strength. Silence is the moment you stop fighting for someone who never fought for you. Silence is you protecting your mind, your heart, and your peace. And when you stay silent, they break because they finally realize they no longer matter in your world. People hate silence because silence forces them to sit alone with themselves. When you stop responding, they can't hide behind your reaction anymore. They can't blame you. They can't twist things. They can't pretend they are the victim. Silence puts the spotlight on their behavior. Silence exposes their guilt. Silence makes them face every ugly thing they ever did. When you keep talking, you protect them from consequences. When you keep reacting, you protect them from accountability. But when you go silent, you let them face themselves. And trust me, many people cannot handle that. Some people are terrified of their own conscience. Some people only feel strong when they know you are hurting. Some people only feel valuable when they know you still care. Your silence hurts them because it tells them the truth. You moved on. You healed. You realized your worth. You no longer need closure. You no longer need answers. You no longer need them. You choosing silence is proof that the story is over on your side. Epictetus said, "If you want to be invincible, do not react to anything outside your control. You cannot control someone's lies. You cannot control someone's disrespect. You cannot control someone's betrayal, but you can control your response. And when you choose silence, you don't just take away their power, you take back your life. If someone walked away, if someone disrespected you, if someone tried to hurt you, you do not need to fight for them, chase them, argue with them, or explain your worth. Your silence is enough. Your silence is louder than anger. Your silence is louder than tears. Your silence is louder than any speech. Silence tells them, "I owe you nothing." Silence tells them, "You do not control me." Silence tells them, "I choose myself." And here's the part most people don't expect. Silence is not just something that affects them. Silence changes you. Silence builds emotional muscles. Silence teaches you patience. Silence gives you clarity. Silence protects your peace. Silence reminds you that you do not need to react to everything that tries to get a rise out of you. Strong people do not argue. Strong people do not chase. Strong people do not beg. Strong people walk away in silence because they know their value is not up for debate. The world wants you loud, emotional, reactive, and chaotic. The world wants you to waste your energy trying to prove yourself. But you are done giving your power away. Silence is your shield. Silence is your armor. Silence is your new strength. Before we continue, I want you to write this in the comments and claim it as your truth. My silence is my power. I do not react. I protect my peace. Number 1, your silence exposes their weakness. The moment you stop responding, the truth shows itself. People who once acted strong suddenly start checking your profile, asking about you, stalking your stories, or trying to get your attention. They start throwing small comments, posting indirect messages, or pretending they don't care when they actually do. They get nervous, they get insecure, they get angry at the fact that you are not giving them the reaction they want. Your silence forces them to face a reality they were never prepared for. They no longer have access to you. A person who once believed you would always respond has to accept that you are gone. A person who believed they could break you now sees you standing strong. Your silence confuses them because they expected you to break down, but instead you leveled up. And here's the part that hurts them the most. Silence means you finally understood who they were. Silence means you woke up. Silence means you stopped loving their potential and started seeing their reality. When you stay silent, they wonder what changed. They wonder why you're different. They wonder why their tricks no longer work. They question themselves. They question their value. They question their importance. Suddenly, the person who wanted you on your knees is now the one feeling small. And the best part? You didn't say a single word. Seneca, another Stoic teacher, said, "He who is brave is free." Silence is freedom. Freedom from manipulation. Freedom from emotional control. Freedom from someone who once held power over your mind. So when you stay silent, you are not trying to hurt them, but they will hurt. You are not trying to break them, but they will break. Because silence is louder than revenge. Silence is louder than hate. Silence is where you rise and they crumble. Number 2, silence protects you from saying things you will regret. When emotions run high, words become weapons, and once they are spoken, they can never be taken back. Anger pushes people to speak faster than they think, to defend themselves, to prove a point, to win an argument. But silence is the opposite. Silence comes from strength. Silence comes from self-control. When you learn to stay calm, you stop letting people drag you into their chaos. You stop letting them pull you out of character. You stop letting them control your reactions. Epictetus taught that no person can disturb your peace unless you hand them the power. The moment you choose silence, you take that power back. You protect your dignity. You protect your energy. You protect your intelligence. People often regret what they say in anger, but no one regrets staying silent. Silence keeps your reputation clean. Silence keeps your heart steady. Silence keeps you in control of the situation, while the other person falls apart trying to get a reaction out of you. Think about every time you argued back, every time you tried to prove something, every time you defended yourself against someone who didn't even deserve your breath. What did it bring you? Stress, pain, frustration, sleepless nights. Now imagine staying silent. Imagine refusing to play their game. Imagine watching them get angry because you refuse to respond. Silence turns their chaos back toward them. Silence teaches you patience. Silence teaches you how to think before you speak. When you stay quiet, you make smarter decisions. You respond with clarity, not emotion. You stay true to your character, instead of letting someone else push you into stupidity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence." Not because silence means you lost, but because silence means you refuse to lose yourself. When you stay silent, you win. You win peace. You win control. You win freedom. Your silence is not weakness. It is discipline, and discipline always wins. Number 3. Silence makes people realize what they lost. When someone thinks you will always answer, always forgive, always show up, they start taking you for granted. They stop valuing your presence. They assume you will always be there no matter how they treat you. But the moment you stay silent, the moment you stop giving them access to your heart, something changes. They feel the distance. They feel the emptiness. They feel the absence of your energy. Humans don't appreciate what is always available. They only realize the value when it is gone. Silence becomes a wake-up call. You are not begging. You are not explaining. You are not reminding them of what you deserve. You simply disappear, and that is more powerful than any speech. Seneca said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Staying silent takes courage. Walking away with self-respect takes courage." People who once acted like they didn't care start thinking about you late at night. They start replaying their mistakes. They wonder why you stopped trying. They wonder who you talk to now. They wonder who has your attention. Silence becomes a mirror that reflects their behavior back at them. When you stop talking, they finally hear the truth. They realize they pushed too far. They realize they crossed a line. And here is what hurts them the most. They are no longer part of your story. Silence teaches them that access to you was a privilege, not a right. Silence teaches them that you will not fight for someone who refuses to fight for you. Silence teaches them that you are not afraid to lose people because you trust your worth. Silence makes them regret what they did, and by the time they realize it, it's usually too late. You didn't punish them. You didn't attack them. You didn't seek revenge. You simply removed your presence, and that punishment is stronger than anything else. Silence is where they finally understand the value of what they threw away. Number 4, silence teaches you how to listen to yourself again, and that is something most people forget how to do. When you are constantly reacting, constantly defending, constantly responding, your mind gets drowned in noise. Other people's voices become louder than your own. Their anger, their opinions, their demands, their manipulation, their insults, all of it fills your head until you can't hear your own thoughts. But when you choose silence, the noise finally stops. You step away from drama. You step away from confusion. You step away from emotional chaos. Silence becomes a doorway back to yourself. When everything is quiet, you can actually hear what your heart has been trying to tell you this whole time. You realize what hurts you. You realize what drains you. You realize what you truly want. Stoic philosophy teaches that wisdom lives in quiet reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote that your mind becomes shaped by what you allow inside it. If you allow chaos, you become chaotic. If you allow peace, you become peaceful. Silence gives you space to think before you act. Silence gives you the chance to make decisions from strength, not fear. When you stop trying to correct someone, you notice their true character. When you stop trying to make them understand you, you see who actually wants to understand you. Silence makes people show themselves. It shows you who respects your distance and who feels entitled to your time. It shows you who panics when you stop replying and who disappears the moment you stop giving. You learn who is loyal and who was only around when it benefited them. In silence, your heart starts healing, your mind starts resting, your confidence slowly builds back up. You rebuild your life with clarity. You become wiser than you were before. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers, and it is in those silent answers where you find yourself again. If you are ready to return to your power, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I choose silence. I choose peace. I choose myself. Number 5. Silence protects your dignity when words would only make things worse. People who try to provoke you want a reaction. They want you angry, emotional, defensive, or broken. They want proof that they still have power over you. When you stay silent, you deny them that power. You show them that your self-control is stronger than their games. Stoic wisdom teaches that the person who controls their emotions controls the situation. Epictetus said, "No one can hurt you unless you give them permission." Silence is the moment you take back that permission. Instead of fighting, explaining, or trying to prove your worth, you choose to protect your peace. That is strength. Most people shout because they are weak inside. Most people argue because they fear silence. Silence is uncomfortable for people who know they messed up. Silence makes them face themselves. Silence forces them to hear their own lies, their own disrespect, their own behavior. When you stop engaging, they start questioning. They wonder why you are calm. They wonder what you are thinking. They wonder what you will do next. Your silence becomes louder than any argument could ever be. It gives you dignity. It gives you power. It gives you the upper hand without you having to lift a finger. When someone pushes you to lose control, silence is how you win. When someone wants to drag you down into their drama, silence is how you rise above it. Protect your dignity. Protect your spirit. Protect your time. Number 6. Silence teaches emotional discipline, and emotional discipline is the highest form of intelligence. Anyone can react. Anyone can explode. Anyone can send angry messages, scream, or argue. That is easy, but holding your voice, keeping your focus, and staying calm when someone tries to shake you requires real power. Marcus Aurelius said that if someone can provoke you, they own you. So the moment you let anger control your actions, you hand them the keys. Silence takes those keys back. Silence says, "I feel everything, but I don't act on impulse." That is emotional mastery. When you respond with silence, you show that your emotions are not toys. You show that no one gets to push your buttons. You show that their behavior can't move you. This is how strong people stay untouchable. Even if you are hurt, even if you are disappointed, silence keeps your dignity intact. Self-control destroys manipulation. When someone tries to bait you into reacting so they can blame you, silence removes their excuse. When someone wants a fight because chaos feeds their ego, silence leaves them starving. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to respond. They don't know why you are calm. Your silence becomes a mirror that forces them to see their actions. Some will disrespect you because they think you will always respond. Silence breaks that pattern. Silence shocks them. Silence confuses them. Silence shows them you are not the same person anymore. Your emotional discipline changes the entire power dynamic. And when you choose silence, you remind yourself that you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your worth. You don't need to argue to defend your value. You are in control. If you are ready to master your emotions and stop letting people pull your strings, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I control my emotions. Number 7. Silence forces accountability, and accountability is what many people fear the most. When you walk away from drama, you leave their actions echoing in their own mind. They can't blame you. They can't twist the story. They can't point fingers and say you reacted, you yelled, or you became emotional. They are left alone with the truth, and the truth is loud when there is no distraction. Seneca said that time reveals everything, and silence gives time the space to do its work. When you stop engaging, the mask falls off. People who played games, lied, manipulated, or tried to use you for attention suddenly realize that there is no one left to fool. Your silence becomes the moment where they finally see themselves. Sometimes the greatest punishment you can give someone is having to face their own reflection. A person who mistreated you wants your reaction because your reaction lets them hide from guilt. Silence takes that shield away. Silence makes them sit with what they did. Silence forces them to feel the weight of losing you. No explanation, no closure, just consequences. That is a power few understand until they experience it. And while they struggle with their own actions, you rise. Silence gives you space to heal, think, rebuild, grow, improve, and transform. Your absence becomes their lesson, and your growth becomes their regret. You don't need revenge. Your silence is the revenge. Your progress is the revenge. Your peace is the revenge. The moment you go quiet, you choose yourself over chaos, and that is a level of strength many will never reach. Number 8. Silence protects your soul from people who only show up to drain it. When you stop responding to disrespect, manipulation, or emotional games, you send a powerful message. You are no longer accessible to anyone who doesn't honor your value. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who hurt you." By staying silent, you refuse to mirror their behavior. You refuse to yell, beg, explain, or justify. You choose dignity instead of chaos. That is a victory they never saw coming. Silence makes you unpredictable, and nothing frustrates a manipulator more than losing control of the situation. The moment they realize you cannot be provoked, triggered, or pulled back into their cycle, they break. They reread old messages. They stalk your social media. They ask about you. They wonder why you changed. They feel the distance. You may not hear it, but they feel it. And while they analyze your absence, you build a better life without them. You get stronger mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You level up. You glow differently. You move with calm confidence. They expected you to beg, chase, or return. Instead, you became silent, disciplined, and focused. Stoics believed that inner control is the ultimate strength. Silence allows you to control yourself, your reactions, and your energy. Nothing destroys toxic people more than losing access to your attention. Hold your peace like a shield. Protect your heart like treasure. Don't let every voice into your world. Your silence is not weakness. It is self-respect. It is emotional maturity. It is power wrapped in peace. If you are ready to protect your energy and silence everything that drains you, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence protects my peace. Remember this, silence is not emptiness. It is power, control, and protection. When you stop reacting, you stop giving anyone the ability to control your mind, your emotions, or your worth. People wanted chaos, attention, and reactions from you, but by staying silent, you showed strength they cannot break. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your silence is your action. It forces reflection, exposes truth, and strengthens your inner peace. Walk away from drama, refuse to give energy to those who do not respect it, and watch how their illusions collapse while you rise stronger and calmer. Your presence, your focus, and your calm are more powerful than any words or revenge. Let silence be your weapon, your shield, and your strategy. Protect your mind, protect your heart, protect your life. If this message resonates, hit subscribe, like, and share this video. Step into your quiet strength, embrace your self-worth, and let your silence change everything. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I am unshakable. My silence is my power. My peace is mine.